Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is our third and final informational webinar in the AI Day series. And I think this is the funnest one because we're going to get to cover a lot of the content. I get to tell you about some of the speakers that we've lined up and walk you what through the actual event will look like. But make sure that today you walk out knowing how to be a part of it, whether it is participating in the virtual summit or doing something for your network. In case some of the information that I covered today doesn't resonate with you or you haven't heard it before, it's probably because I covered that in webinars 1 or 2, and that's also available, those recordings, on our website. I'm going to share that link to that website and I'm going to help you navigate it in a little bit, but just keep that in mind. So let's get into it. So just as a reminder, this is why we're actually celebrating AI Day, right? We could have taken part in lots of celebrations, but this one is particularly meaningful for us because it represents what the SBDCs do. They take in information that is new and they stay ahead of the business and they offer that to their business clients. So we have all these success stories, all of these experiences that SBDC have put together as part of our work with Google.org and have managed to leverage AI for the entire network to bring resources in education, to provide advising to small business clients. All of this has been very intentional and we want that to be visible. So the whole purpose of this event is that people outside of the SBDCs are also able to see what SBDCs do with AI and why it's incredible that they continue to invest in us. Like I said, our goals are fairly simple. We want to show the world what's happening across our 63 networks. We want to open doors to potentially new partners that want to invest, whether it is us as an entire network or your program individually. And just saying we're leading on this. We hear the buzzword AI a lot, but we're trying to show how SBDCs have really taken the lead and done this in a responsible and an effective way. So as an overview, a quick reminder here, the details of the event. This will happen on July 16th. That's National AI Day, so that's why we chose that day. We're going to go on a virtual summit from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. It's 2 hours fully virtual, and we chose that time to allow folks that are in different time zones to be able to join us. So you don't have to come in your coffee and your pajamas to be able to participate in our AI Day. It's more comfortable for everyone. Also, if you're trying to do an event before or afterwards, this schedule seems to work well for you. The event will cover a keynote speaker. We'll have panel discussions from small businesses and advisors. We'll have success story highlights from across the country. And because we're going to be live in a virtual platform, you'll have the ability to do virtual networking, chat with others, even engage with the content that we're seeing through the session. So it's a good opportunity for so many of us that are in different places at different times to connect all about AI and have these conversations. So it'll be 2 hours, but lots of good stuff that's going to be packed in here. Let me move to the next one. So the big thing for me is this is the website we've developed for AI Day. If you need to find anything about it, here's where you're going to find this information. It is not password protected. It is not limited in any capacity. If you want to share this with your stakeholders, if you want to share this with your small business clients, anyone, this is the website that you want to share with them. In here, you'll find the information about what is AI Day, how you can participate, whether it is as a network, as a client. You'll find toolkit to promote. If you're saying, hey, I want to attend, I want to tell others about it, we have a marketing toolkit that you can use and use some of the sample language that we have or some of the marketing assets to share with your local networks that you are attending. We have the registration for the virtual summit as well. And then we have all of the recordings from these webinars that I've hosted over the last 3 months to make sure you're all caught up with the information. I'm going to go over this website right now to give you that tour of what I just mentioned, but take your time whenever you get a chance. When you get the recording of this webinar, also take the time to navigate it. Let me make sure that I can share my screen there on that page. So this is what our AI Day website looks like. You'll see it, it's our AI Day branding. It's connected to the Americas SBDC brand, but still keeps its uniqueness. This is not connected to AIU. This is our AI Day single standing because our AIU project was something that we are working with Google.org, but AI Day is something just like SBDC Day that all of the networks get to celebrate and we get to decide how that's going to look like in the future. Like I said, you find all of your menus of the different things that are available under the day. You can see an explanation of why is it relevant for other partners to participate on this, how you can do it, either by hosting your own celebration, maybe sharing it on social media, and definitely joining the virtual summit event. Here's what I was sharing with you that you can use either to promote the event in your networks, or you personally want to share it with, I don't know, your LinkedIn network. You can do so here, and you can download all of those marketing assets to make sure that you're aligned with it and build the excitement leading to the event. We are 29 days away from our virtual summit. We have our counter clock there, and you can register for the event. It's going to be fairly simple to do. All you have to do is complete a few items in your information. We don't collect that data to share with third parties. We just use it so we can manage the event, and it'll give you, you can designate your own username, which will be your email, and a password. That way you'll have access to the virtual summit platform, where it's going to be like our virtual conference site. We're going to continue to populate more information with the agenda and speakers after this webinar. And then here's where you'll find, pardon me, the recordings of the last three. So when you get a chance, check on that. As always, my information is included in there. If you have any questions, just reach out and I'm happy to answer those. So let's talk about some of the people that are going to be participating in our summit. I told you we were going to have a panel with small business owners. We're really proud of hosting two really cool businesses with very interesting stories. One from Alaska and the other one from Texas. The first one, Tad Phillips. Oh, sorry, I keep moving my mouse and it doesn't take. I guess I'm giving you the preview of everything else now. Anyway, let me tell you about Tad. He's from Alaska and he is the founder of IPS Inc. He is such a great example of what happens when the small business actually commits to learning AI, because he started going to some of the learning opportunities that Alaska was offering and then completely took it over. And he applies it to everything he does in his work. So now I'll tell you as an anecdote he shared, he has computers working for him at home and in the office where he sends prompts to them and they keep working for him overnight while he's doing it. So it's as if he had, I don't know, 3 employees that work for him 24/7. Really cool stuff. I think you're going to find his story fascinating and really inspiring. Really understands the value of using AI for a small business. And then on the other side in Texas, all across, we have Carolyn Thompson. She's the founder of Akari Mental Health Services. And her work is actually very special because it's meaningful. She's using AI, but in the mental health space, which is not simple. You wouldn't think those two connect, but she's doing it in a way that is very thoughtful. She's using it so she can provide better care to her patients while spending less time on administrative and operational work. She's also found some specific tools in AI that work for her practice to keep notes with patients in a way that are confidential, to do research on specific conditions using AI tools that are generated by medical practitioners. Really interesting information. And I'll let you hear about her biggest success story with AI, which is really impressive. But yeah, these are real business owners. They're going to share with us real stories. They're going to tell you how they started working with every day and where they see it happening for them in the future. So we're really looking forward to hearing from them. Then, as you may have seen on my preview, we also have our featured speaker. You may have seen her at conference before. She is joining us from Google, Work with Google, Lucy Pinto. Having her on our virtual summit is really a big deal for us because she is a visible sign of our partnership with Google. And she'll be bringing a perspective on how AI is shaping small business. They really come up with a lot of resources and technical pieces and education for small businesses. So she'll be talking about what all of that is available and then what they're seeing at scale and what comes in the future. So we're really glad to have her and seeing what else she has to share with us and any previews that she might be able to share about what's coming up for Google with small businesses. We'll have other panels. I'm just giving you a preview, but then last but not least, I did want to share our keynote speaker. It's going to be Justin Fineberg. He is the co-founder and CEO of Cassidy. If you haven't heard of Cassidy, it's okay, but it's an AI platform. It was built specifically to help businesses automate work using AI agents. And he's genuinely, I would say, like at the forefront of where AI is for small businesses. He does TikTok videos, LinkedIn, very short snippets of information, making AI feel more accessible and maybe relevant to you because he talks about everyday scenarios. So I think people are going to really enjoy having him as a keynote because they're going to walk out with maybe a clearer picture of what's possible. So he will be our keynote speaker. He will be presenting live, and we're very grateful that he wanted to be a part of our network and kind of share his insights into stuff. Then I want to remind you, if you want to participate, there's 3 ways you can do it. The simplest one, just join the virtual summit. You get to have access to all this really relevant information, get to share it with others, say, this is what I am a part of, and we keep doing it the right way. You can host your own celebration. You can have a graduation for your student projects, or maybe do a celebration for those that have already completed the certification in AIU. And then you can also help amplify the message on social media and tell others about this and why it's relevant, because the whole goal is bringing visibility to the SBDCs and the great work that we do. That's pretty much it. So if I need to leave you with any action items for this 3rd and final webinar, I would say don't forget to register for the AI Virtual Summit on the website that I showed you earlier. Help us amplify your message through social media. If you post something, you can use the hashtags that we are suggesting. You can tag us. We're happy to reshare your message. We want to make sure that by July 16th, everybody is aware of this and thinks, if I miss it, I'm just going to be missing out on something really important and cool. And then by all means, join us on July 16th to celebrate. It'll be our virtual version of a celebration. I'm sure you've heard we're also going to be hosting one in DC, and that's in person for the folks that represent us, the policymakers. So how cool would it be that we have that DC event? It's from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern time there in Washington for that closed group of people. And then we get to tell them, if you want to check us out, we're going to be hosting a virtual summit with hundreds of us that represent the SBDC networks and want to share with you how we're doing good work. So as always, thank you so much. I always dedicate an hour for these because I'm not sure how many questions you may have or ideas, but I do welcome all of them. And if there are none, then I'll give you your time back. But if not, feel free to open up your mic or put it on the chat and I can answer your questions.
We have one on behalf of the Pennsylvania SBDC network. This might be a silly question, but would you say the virtual summit is appropriate for our clients as well, or is that more for our internal network of consultants and partners?
I would say it's appropriate for your clients as well. That example that I gave you earlier about this small business panel, it's just conducted by small businesses. So it's an opportunity for them to know, oh, look, they're using it in these other ways. We're also trying to embed this message that everybody has access to AI right now, but it is key that they maintain their contact with the SBDC or advisor because it's going to make their businesses better. So we're going to kind of have that conversation with the business panel when the advisors have their own panel as well. That's the whole purpose of it, to have a conversation of, yes, just because you have access to ChatGPT doesn't mean that now you don't need an advisor. In fact, let us tell you how by having one, your work is enhanced. So I would say yes, very relevant to them, very relevant to your stakeholders as well, to your host institution if you have one, so they can see this is what you've been working on and why is it relevant that they continue to invest in AI tools for your center, because it's what the market is demanding and we have to respond to that.
Perfect. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Hey, and as a follow-up to Elizabeth's question, we're thinking of doing kind of like a simulcast where we would actually broadcast and have an in-person event where people can watch the virtual summit, and then we'd actually have an event afterwards. And I was wondering, are there any agenda items that you think are maybe just a little bit less relevant to clients, so that if we wanted to build in bathroom breaks or intermissions or food, that we could do that? Because we're wondering if we have people sitting in an auditorium for a couple hours, that might get a little bit stale. But if there are a few agenda items that are more SBDC advisor facing, we could build in some breaks.
You're making me wonder if I'm a little biased because I think everything is relevant to that. But you know what? Weirdly enough, I think our keynote, his main purpose will be to talk to our SBDC network to solidify that external view and validation of why our SBDCs are right to work with AI. So if I had to pick any, but I feel awful about saying that, it might be that portion of the keynote where they can take a quick break, but very quick, just because like I said, he will be talking more towards our SBDC network and not the clients. But when I think of the agenda, which we will post on the website in all detail so you can see it, we're going to start the morning with the first session of the summit with the small businesses and talking about their experiences. I think that'll be valuable for them. We'll also have some student engagement projects that will be highlighted. I think that can be relevant to them as well, knowing how they can work with students, and they would be happy to get that professional experience for their businesses. We'll have our keynote, and then we'll also have our advisor panel. And I think that one's really cool for your business, so they can understand what's the value of me working with, and not just on the traditional things I need, but maybe how they enhance my work with AI. And after that, it's the Google partner moment, and they have a lot of resources for small businesses as well. So yeah, that was a tough question, Jake. I would say the keynote is probably the best choice for your small businesses, but not for anyone else.
And that's not to say that we won't still have it running, but we're just trying to figure it out since we've never done this before. We're throwing the spaghetti at the wall. We know there's a lot of value. We're not sure what's going to resonate with people. So that insight's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome to that club. I'm trying to build an agenda as well, not knowing what our network really wants. So I'm happy that we're hosting this, and then we get to also learn from it and see what did work and what maybe didn't resonate with people as much, so we can continue to highlight those good things.
Cool. Thank you.
Deanna, thank you for putting this together. And I was just wondering who's attending in Washington, D.C. I'm just curious.
Yeah, sure. Happy to tell you. We'll have our CEO T will be over there presenting with April, our vice president, and we're going to have a small panel of a success story from New York. We're going to have the head of our AI interest group, Greg Chenise, kind of speak to those policymakers and letting them know why it's so relevant that they keep investing in us, and showcasing a success story to make sense of that. It's a very short event, and we have to remain flexible with it. Apparently, I don't understand all the legislative stuff, but if they are called to a vote, they might not even be able to attend. So we're trying to create a best case scenario where people get to share a lunch and learn and get this information out of the network. But it was really focused on those areas that we want to highlight and provide visibility so we can get the needle moving into more support for SBDCs. Great. I don't see any more questions. So I'll give you the rest of the time back. I will be posting the recording of this webinar on the AI Day website. And then, as always, reach out to me if you have any questions, if you have any ideas or things that you want to share. I'm happy to help you build the momentum and the excitement around this day. We're excited that it's going to be our first one, and hopefully the first one of many more. So thank you for staying with me today, watching all of the webinars, and I'll see you on AI Day on July 16th. Thank you, everyone. Bye.